Assalamu alaikum dear viewers. This is me Atika Bad and I have came up with these classes for making your preparation of Ugc Net paper 2 English easy and simple to understand. Today in the first class I am commencing my lecture with new criticism, the part of literary theory. UGC asked several questions from it. So without wasting our time, let's begin this session. Firstly, we will discuss what literary theory is. So, literary theory is the systematic study of the nature of literature and of the methods for literary analysis. It helps the reader to understand the relationship between the author and the text and to analyze the thematic aspect within the work. Basically, it means literary theory helps in order to give historical and cultural significance to the text. It helps to analyzing and interpreting literature. It is done by using different theory for analyzing text. Now, what new criticism is? New criticism is a literary theory which developed in Britain in 1920. And the name new criticism is taken from an essay written by John Cransomes. And the essay name was The New Criticism. And it was published in 1941. Now, there were many movements were going on, and new criticism was a formalist movement in literary theory that dominated American literary criticism in the middle decades of the 20th century. It emphasized close reading, particularly of poetry, to discover how a work of literature functioned as a self-contained self-referential aesthetic object. So the new critic writers were basically focused on poetry. And the famous critics of new criticism was I.A. Richards, and his famous works were Practical Criticism, The Principle of Literary Criticism, and The Meaning of Meaning. These works were important to the development of a new critical methodology. And now, William Emerson, the famous work was 7 Types of Ambiguity. This book is organized around 7 types of ambiguity that Emerson finds in the poetry he discusses. Now we will see Clint Brooks. He was another critic of new criticism. His famous work was The Well Route on Studies in the Structure of Poetry and Modern Poetry and the Tradition. And another one was F.R. Lewis. His major works were New Bearings in English Poetry, The Great Tradition, The Common Pursuit, and Two Cultures, The Significance of C.P. Snow. And the last one was Wimsatt and Beardsley. They were 2 critics and they collaborated with this work, The Intentional Fallacy and The Affective Fallacy. So these are some famous works which UGC asks questions from it. So you should study these works. And lastly, I am going to discuss some questions UGC will ask probably. So the questions are: who wrote the new criticism, giving the movement its name? And what do Wimsatt and Beardsley rail against in the intentional fallacy? So when you will read the intentional fallacy, you will got to know what Wimsatt and Beardsley trying to say in it. And the what word new criticism reacting against? What method is closely associated with new criticism? And the last one is which genre of the new critic must enjoy analyzing. So thanks for watching this video and do subscribe for more videos. Inshallah, we will come soon with another video. Allah Hafiz.